would be very surprised if it's not picked in the first stage or banned by either one of these two teams.
Yeah, I think that was something that you guys initially picked up on in the draft, and you're like, okay, this is something that we need to pay attention to. With the Doom as well, is there anything else that we should be paying attention to before we do jump into the draft, though, Tsunami?
I want Morphling to get through, because I think that's Nico Baby's best hero. They don't need to go for like a whole Morphling Earthshaker combo, which I think is how most teams have been justifying the Morphling recently, which I don't think it's entirely necessary, especially when you've got a player like Nico Baby who's so competent on the hero.
It's Void, right? Like,
oh, that's true. I'd be down with Void also, and Void's like extremely popular right now, so I would be down for either of those heroes for Nico Baby.
Okay, so now we know a few of the things that our analysts do want to see when we get into the draft, and the draft is about to get underway, so we're actually going to see what the teams are bringing. Tsunami also did bring up the fact that he expects this one, before he saw the draft, of course, to make it all the way to the Game 3.
Correct.
Do you feel the same way off of that first game, Lizard?
I'm not sure. Arc Warden did have a really good game, but I don't rate the hero even after the recent buffs that highly. I have seen him played in a lot of scrims, and a lot of teams are picking it up, trying out. You see Arteezy playing it in pubs, right, like practicing, but I think Alliance could have won that game if they made a couple of different moves. I think they had the win condition there and they could have taken it. A couple of outplays from Nigma took it. They might be a little bit tilted after. That's all I'm saying. But look at these bans, like Wisp and Slark.
Yeah, I don't know about the Slark. I mean, Alliance has been, even in their Dota Pit series, they were always banning out the Wisp versus Nigma, which makes sense. But yeah, Slark first phase is peculiar. I would feel that you would be... If you see a Slark first phase as the other team, you're like, okay, well, we have a ton of picks to deal with this thing. I'm not too worried about it.
Okay, so the Slark perhaps is a little bit out there, but Darkseer definitely isn't.
Yeah.
I think the way Team Nigma drafted that last game is completely to shut down what Alliance is doing. They took 3 of their heroes that they picked in the last few series. Like yesterday, they played that Phoenix was banned versus them, but they did pick Darkseer in both of them. And S4 on Darkseer just makes the game a little bit different. He was like 6-0 in the first or second.
That's what I was expecting from his Doom. How is Darkseer getting a better KDA than a Doom in a game?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Nigma scoops up the Batrider. Again, another hero who can kind of... There aren't as many outright counters like there was against the Darkseer, which again, like Nigma may send... Actually, it's probably likely that they're going to give this to Wii. Are they going to send this Darkseer mid just like that? Or were you going to...
Batrider.
Yeah, Batrider. Yeah, sorry, Batrider.
It could be. It could be mid still. It's not really out of the option. It has been nerfed quite a little bit, but quite a little bit, great. But Boom is still playing it. Like Viking, they still play it on mid and they do quite a lot with it. So it's an open pick. That's really what matters. You draft Batrider in the first stage, you can put it offlane, you can put it mid, you can put it on position 5. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I feel like it's been very popular, though, so far in this tournament. It's been getting either picked early or banned early quite a bit. I need to actually look at the numbers, but as we do move forward on the side of Alliance, where are you expected to see Tsunami?
Wow, okay, they go with a Tiny. I didn't want them to go back to Doom. I did not think that Doom was great for them, so I think Tiny's a little bit more up their alley. And then a Venomancer, okay.
Man, this is... I'm watching literally the repeat of yesterday's series, but Team Nigma is drafting what Alliance had, and Alliance is drafting what Virtus Pro had.
Just wait for the last 2 picks.
It's like they're just out... I won't say out drafting them immediately, but Alliance did handle Virtus Pro with that draft quite easily. You have this Tiny now, and if I remember correctly, in one game it was position 4, in the other in which it was versus Batrider, it was played mid. It got crushed, it got stomped.
Yeah.
Veno has just been all over the place today as well.
I'm immensely irritated by Venomancer in my pubs, which are not relevant, but Venomancer...
Wait, was that actually a serious one, or were you leaning into it a little bit there?
I think the idea was planted in my brain, and then I was like, oh wait, I can do something with this. The slow is going to be very, very irritating for the Batrider, that's for sure. Not even like the Gale, but I think the Poison Sting itself, putting the wards everywhere for vision. I think that overall the hero is just immensely strong right now. I'm not surprised that it's very popular. I'm not surprised that it gets banned a lot.
I think it pretty much kills the position 5 idea for Batrider.
Yeah.
If you're Team Nigma right now, you're most likely thinking Wii. It is who plays the hero like 90% of the time anyway for them. In the best of 5 in OGA Dota bit, he was playing at mid 3 out of 5 games. I think they won all 3, so you don't really have to experiment way too much.
But surely Alliance, after losing to that, they're like, we can't let that happen again. Because they didn't. Did they first phase ban it? I think they first phase banned it last game.
Yeah, they did.
And so they let it through this time. And so maybe the first game was like, maybe we'll let them think that we're still scared of the Batrider.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 2, they'll go for it. But we've had like 2.5 weeks to come up with a solution. Maybe, I don't know, Oracle mid.
Well, look, it's not as strong as it used to be. That's for sure. It did get nerfed. The sticky napalm doesn't really matter as much in the laning stage anymore. You can turn a little bit easier. The percentage of the turn rate is lower, so it is easier to play against it. Alliance go with the Morphling. It hasn't been banned out. They ban out the Ancient Apparition as well.
Now I guess you're looking for a Spirit Vessel builder on Nigma. The reason I like Morphling so much for Nico Baby and Alliance is that like it doesn't really give the enemy team that much to work off of. It's not like you have these hard counter picks that you're like, okay, well, we have to ban out such and such hero, other than AA, really. I think that's the only one. And even that, not very many teams run AA core. I think it's more of a fringe pick, so I think it's just a reliable carry.
I actually wouldn't mind to see even something like a Spectre here for Team Nigma. You get that Spectre, you build an early Skadi, and then you get another hero that builds into Shivas.
Yeah.
Morphling just doesn't heal. He doesn't, like, your strength shift just doesn't matter in fights. Plus the amount of HP, raw HP that you get from that Skadi, if you pair it with anything else, the E-Blade is useless. Like,
so I'm curious, do you think that Vessel is inherently less popular because people are more willing to build Shivas and Scotties now that they have the heal reduction? Because Vessel was like core for every single team for at least like a year or so, and now there are other sources of heal reduction. So does that mean that Vessel's fallen off? Or
pretty much. Pretty much. It's pretty expensive, right? Like that recipe for 1,000 is a lot. It doesn't do as much as it used to do, and like you said, Skadi and Shivas, it's pretty sick. But they go with the Skyrat. Alright, now, it isn't really a hero that you see very often, right? But it's really good for Nigma here. You have a combo with the Clockwork, you have the combo with the Lasso. It's actually one of those heroes that can destroy Morphling.
Yeah, instant cast silence is very, very valuable. You don't see that very often.
Why are you guys looking at me like that?
You're looking at us like that.
Oh, I'm smiling. It's my favorite hero.
No, it's
Is
not.
it?
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Who do you think my favorite hero is?
TA.
No.
Dark Willow.
It starts with an M, I know, but it's not.
Oh, wow, true. Huge oversight on my part. Yeah, actually, a huge oversight. Second favorite hero, though. Actually, third. I like Morph as my second Wizard Guardian. Yeah, because then you can have Tumor. But we'll talk about it later as we do keep moving over. But yeah, you really don't see Skywrath very often. What does open it up here? You start to talk about some of the things in this lineup that does allow it to be locked in. But Tsunami, how do you feel about this pick?
I would have thought that Faceless Void would have been a good pick for Nigma. Like Lizard said, the Clockwork is great because you can hookshot, then cog someone, and then you've created a little circle for one target to absorb all of the Mystic Flare. Same thing with the Chronosphere. I would think that you toss down a Chronosphere, then Mystic Flare would have been great, but then Nigma banned it out themselves.
I guess they ban it out because if you don't Alliance, it's gonna pick it, right? It's their to-go hero right now, even over the Morphling.
Yeah, but they already have the Morphling, so...
No. Before it was a bit earlier.
Oh, right, you're right.
Shadow Demon picked up by Alliance. Oh, there you go. That's a little bit of save right there for the Skyrat, for the Batrider. So that's pretty solid. Another support that we really haven't seen a lot recently. Like in the qualifiers, maybe picked once or twice. That's it. Skyrat, just the same. I believe it's only Save that plays it. Versus Pro Prodigy guy. He's the only one that really spams Skyrat. Skyrat is...
Wait, like, Skyrat or Shadow Demon?
I was first talking about Shadow Demon,
then
about Skyrat. But Skyrat is just something that Nigma picks. It's not a lot of teams are willing to experiment like this.
Beastmaster. I feel like they have some sort of plan, and I don't really see it yet. There's no reason that you need BKB Piercing Disable, although I guess it kind of covers both bases, because Skyrath falls off a little bit once BKBs come out. Not that Morphlings are very eager to build a BKB anyway, so...
It gives you some tower push that they're extremely lacking right now. Like objective taking is nowhere to be found on Team Nigma. With the Beastmaster, you kind of get those necros. You're able to take down towers. You're able to take control of the map. You can counterplay the vision that they have from the Venomancer with the Hawk as well. Like, there are some upsides, but like he said, the grand plan, it's coming, because these 4 heroes, this is a 4 Protect 1 that you see right here. They need something that's going to be able to match up versus Morphling later on.
Okay. So neither of you think it's just like they're just rolling with the punches here. Definitely do have a plan. We'll have to see what that is on the side of Nigma. But when we look over at the Alliance lineup, is there anything in particular that you feel like you want to see here, Tsunami?
They're shoring up the shortcomings that they had in the previous game, and so they're covering their bases. They ban out the Arc Warden, so they are also anticipating another 4 Protect 1 coming.
This is a Spectre ban from Alliance, I think, after the Viper ban. So I think you really have to consider banning that, unless it's some master bait from Team Nigma with the Viper. They're just trying to get that.
Props to production to immediately switching the camera to Rich right after Lizard says that.
That's actually well, they know I've done my research on that particular strategy. Everybody has their own preparation.
There you go. The Spectre ban. I told you.
So now you have other late game carry options.
I've been streaming way too much recently.
I've been practicing this strategy way too much recently, honestly. It's been a long quarantine. But let's see if it has the same. I mean, look, the strategy's been implemented before. Let's see if it has the same diminishing returns that I've had. Well,
I mean, there's kind of like a refractory period on that strategy. You know, you can only bait so many times before it just doesn't. You're not going to fall for it anymore. And so I'm anticipating. Okay, so Anti-Mage would be not great because you have to deal with Shadow Demon. Oh, and Bound.
Yeah.
Terrorblade is available.
Versus Morphling could be a little bit problematic though, right, for Nigma?
Yeah.
It's really good versus Veno though in the lane, right?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Who else? Medusa. I'd be okay with Medusa, but I don't really see if they could protect it in the lane enough. I think she would get.
Oh, they go with the Drow. All right.
Okay.
Drow is pretty strong right now. She's been buffed up a little bit when you have a hero as a Beastmaster next to you to bring you that extra attack speed, so it can be pretty strong. You have, like, whenever I see a Drow, I'm literally thinking the same thing when I see a Sniper. Do you have the front line that will be able to protect this hero? And when you look at Team Nigma, okay, you do have the Beast, you have the Clock, you have the Batrider that will be constantly attacking, so it can work out. But there is a point in the game in which Morphling just outright wins that. Like, he gets on top of you, he has that E-Blade, he has a Manta, he just deals way too much damage, and he has that reach capability, so...
That's great for the mid and late game, but this Draw Ranger is going to have a miserable laning phase. I don't know how she's going to be able to deal with, like, whoever goes to her lane. So they pick up a Baden, that's their last pick. I am guessing, 3 Veno? And... Or...
Could it be a Cora Baden?
I would prefer... Oh wait, so Morphling mid is what you're thinking?
It could be more for tiny mid, right? Like one of these two.
Yeah, and then 3 position is either going to be Abaddon or Veno.
Yeah. Most likely, like you said, tiny mid, Morphling safe lane, 3 position Abaddon or Veno.
Whoever goes in that off lane is going to abuse Drow Ranger.
It's Abaddon versus the Batrider. What are we talking about?
Oh yeah,
that's literally what they're picking.
So he's just going to follow him around. But still, regardless, like I am anticipating she's going to have a very, very difficult time the laning phase. And so, if you can make it to the mid and late game, sure. Then, like you said, the most important thing is do you have people who can insulate the Drow whenever team fights start breaking out, that can absorb the majority of the initiation, which they do have. But I was already going to lean Alliance. You already know that. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I didn't need to look at the draft. It's Alliance's game.
All right, well, it looks like the odds are in favor of Nigma on EGP.com. Who do you side with?
I'm gonna flip again and go against Tsunami. I do like Nigma. Like you said, I'm hoping for game 3. I'm on the same boat, but I really like their draft. I think this Drow Beastmaster combo is strong enough, unless Nico Baby just blows out of control.
Okay, all right, so we heard it. We heard it from everybody here. You're feeling Alliance. Are you actually feeling Alliance, or do you just feel the game 3?
Listen, this is just Hollywood magic, all right? You don't really need to know what I think. We're putting on a show here. I'm here to entertain, and I don't... Sight unseen, it's Alliance. It's actually Nigma.
Okay,
Yeah.
I heard that there. I did hear that there. I'm pretty sure with that, we are ready to get this one underway. You've heard it from the analysts, who they think is going to be able to come out on top, and also you heard it from the odds on EGP.com. But let's actually hear it from our lovely casters, Fogden and OD.
Thank you very much, Rich, and I'm very much looking forward to this one. We had an excellent Game 1 between Alliance and Nigma, and let's hope that Game 2 can be, if anything, just as close to the amount of action that we saw. We're seeing this approach this time around. Alliance, they're saying we're going to go with this big carry morph. Nigma, looks like they sort of want to run them over. This Beastmaster, Drow, Bat, run at you lineup. It looks kind of scary for the morph. Can Alliance keep this morphling safe?
They do at least have some ways to protect him, double ways even, right? Shadow Demon and Abaddon, both these heroes to try to hold him on, protect him. So I'm glad that they're actually going to make the Abaddon a core, which makes it a lot harder for him to be the save. So now FNG is going to have to, but I think they had to do this because I feel like if you had Abaddon and SD as your two supports, I don't know how you make any plays on the map. So I feel like having Houndskin, at least on Tiny, they can make moves and try to do some stuff, and it's pretty interesting to see. Wait, is that an Abaddon mid?
It looks like it's going to be in the
mid. I guess he was trying to play versus the Bat Rider, but that's now going to be Miracle mid. So it's going to be a Drow versus an Abaddon, which sounds pretty damn good for a Drow.
Oh, well, just free farm for Miracle in the mid lane then?
Free farm and free extra levels, because now he's on the dual lane. I mean, that actually sounds like the most ideal situation that could have happened for Nigma.
I mean, to the point where Alliance going to try and switch it up again, or do they just sort of accept this? And I mean, it's Limp playing it, so I should say maybe going to be hard for them to really adjust. They may just have to stick with this.
I don't think Limp's going to be very happy. He's probably like, oh my god, I'm first Drow. This should be very good for a Miracle.
Yeah, that's so exciting to see. I mean, so some of the fans as well of Nigma, they like seeing it. They like seeing Miracle back to mid. They're going to get this game on the drought.
Yep, and I feel like you mentioned, it's all about Nigma this game trying to run the game over. I think this is them going to try to end or have like a huge lead going into like the 20-25 minute mark. Maybe you go for Roche, go for Roche control, go for map dominance, and just shut down this Morphling and Shadow Demon duo from being able to actually take it to the later stage of the game. All about that early aggression.
Oh, now some sort of sticky, icky lane up here at the top between the napalm and the poison between the two of them.
And I bet you that they also were like, oh, Nico Baby was like, oh, nice, I'm versus like a Beastmaster up here, with the Shadow Demon behind me, not so bad. Now it's a Morphling versus the Bat Rider, which is not so fun, especially not in the first few levels. You get pressured a lot, especially if they're able to double the creep wave, which they did right off the bat. RMN already level 2, FNG getting ran down.
Oh, and the Cox as well. That's going to hold him in, but we are to come flying over. First blood for we.
And Nico Baby too. Look at this. It's a double creep wave. They fully doubled it up. So he's also going to get pressured super hard here. Forced to waveform away. And they're just going to stick on him. Just make his life miserable for the time being. He's going to have to farm some cogs under the tower here, but missing last hits. And still so many sticky stacks on him. No stick.
Stick's on the way out.
He's got it now.
There it is. Comes out now, but already feeling the heat of these two. We are an RMN.
Limp's actually doing pretty well mid. At least on the last hit department.
Yeah, he is actually, yeah.
Getting heavily pressured, though. Miracle's actually looking to just go for kills, it looks like. Unable to this time.
It's in that bottom. I mean, how do you sort of imagine this lane to sort of play out? We saw in first game S4 have a very good start in the off lane. This time around, can he sort of take over in the same way, or does Mind Control care not too much about the spam?
I prefer to be the Beastmaster in this situation, but they can get kills. This is a lane where both sides can get kills constantly. GH, he's going to be the one to go down this time. Once they start getting more levels, that Skywrath plus Beastmaster becomes more threatening. But at the early game, Tiny is really just king. Tiny Veno, you can just easy kills if they do is go for the Gale skill, even without it. RMN found on the side here. Nico Baby might be able to pick himself up a kill. Oh, just not able to. All right. Get a nice little side pull there down bottom, Alliance. Nice some experience from that Beastmaster. S4 has his stick already finished up, so that pressure that's going to be coming out from Skywrath not nearly as threatening. Mind Control should still farm just fine down there, though.
And on this the mid Abaddon.
He's got to be a little careful. Miracle has to keep using like all of his mana though.
He has got a mango. Yeah. And that
might go for the kill, maybe?
Be the opportunity for it.
3, 4. Ooh, just gets the mana.
And Lim's going to have to play it safe though. He's got a Salve Mango on his way out, but still empty bottle. 4-minute rune is going to be very important, but already we have the Sky moving over towards the bottom power rune. Top lane, RMN getting turned upon. Nico Baby trying for the kill, but has to be careful with the ban on top of him. Nico Baby, it's a lot of sticky napalm stacks on him, and it's enough for Weehart to get that kill.
All about aggression. That's what Nigma's going to be all about this game in the early. Just try to put pressure. Limp.
He's got the shield.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, he didn't actually quite have the mana for it there, so lucky that the nuke wasn't enough from GH. Didn't get fortunate with the rune as well, as Miracle was able to head top, grab that Invis rune to stop Limp from getting the bottle refill.
Gonna go for RMN here again. A lot of stickies on FNG.
He's already used that disruption as well, so he's gonna go down to one last right click there, and RMN, he's gonna live.
Oh, no way,
Gets
RMN
away.
again.
Out he goes with the TP. This top lane, it is scary. This is definitely one of the powers of Weehart. You know, you put him in the side lane on a hero such as his Batrider, and you pair it up with someone like RMN, who, as we saw last game, having a great impact as the clock early on. It's happening here, and this duo of the two of them, it's a terrifying lane for the Morphling to farm into.
Yeah, absolutely. RMN, last game, I actually almost had him as my MVP in that game till Miracle totally popped off. Yeah. He was doing just God's work, really, for his team on that Clockwork. Continued to do so this game. Weehart, he's able to get the bottle filled up on the rune there, and they are saving the secondary one for him too, so he'll be able to heal up really well. As FNG, he might be dead here.
He's got enough on his own.
Okay, he's got Limp there.
Limp's gonna offer a bit of safety here.
Okay. Thought perhaps maybe Miracle might make a small rotation over, but no boots. He's focused on getting
this
a 6.
This could be nice for Alliance if they could get this. Looking for Miracle. Can't quite find the initial toss back. Does finally get it.
He's kind of tanky. Hanskin's getting low.
Have to use the disruption to keep Hanskin safe, if anything. Miracle turns, tries to bring someone down with him, but won't be able to do so. Alliance get the clean kill in mid. Also, Nico Baby able to nuke down Weehart at the same time, so 2 core kills there for Alliance.
Wow, what happened up top? I guess Weehart may overplayed his hand trying to go on Nico Baby, just got turned on. Okay, they had 2 heroes up there too. That's a bit surprising to see. A great little turnaround there for Alliance. Something I feel like they did need a bit here in this early game. Nico Baby's now back, right? Now all the way up to level 5, where it was Weehart before having the lead.
See TP's in on mid as they're getting aggressive again around the tower, looking to poke at Miracle. This time Miracle's got backup. GH throws out the nukes onto FNG. He'll die for this one. And there's also Hansken was still looking for some action there, despite the fact that GH showed his hand, and RMN also had shown up. Tries for the toss combo, but it just ends up giving a kill to Miracle there. A bit of a... After we saw such a great move from Alliance around the mid, they try and do the same again, you know, sort of fool me once. You're not going to be able to fool them twice.
Nico Baby, Weehart just really keeping the pressure onto him there. 5 stacks. The TP coming out, though. Weehart will have to be a little cautious. Mind control is 6. Okay, Arcane Boots. Bit rare to see. Must be going for just the auras then, I guess?
Yeah, I guess the Grease Rush, because you say nowadays it's Beastmaster, you're not getting the axes, so mana isn't really an issue.
Might be for his teammates. I think that's the biggest thing. Just being able to just pump up that Drow, pump up that Skyreth and Clockwork always. Limp down to 11 HP.
Top lane, Nico Baby trying to fight back.
10 stacks.
10 stacks.
He's at the maximum.
Oh, I was going to say.
FNG will go down. One more hit. Look at Nico Baby, that looks so funny.
Just spewing fire out his backside.
1 HP with fire behind you.
Yeah.
Really playing his limits here.
Oh. Gonna try and go in onto Weehart, and as he nearly finds him there, Weehart with the dukes around. Nico Baby, got the stick charges, still a few stacks on him. He's got the backup of Limp. Shield comes out, Nico Baby knocks into the cogs. Trying to look for RMN, but won't be able to chase this one out there, even with Limp coming in. I mean, Limp keeps him safe, but won't be able to set up for them finding a kill onto Nigma.
Yeah, he's really playing the limits on the Morphling there. It's got to be so scary to play at that low HP, but did have Limp behind him, which means mid lane opens up. We see Hanskin wants to take that experience. All right. Level 7 up onto S4 at the moment. Mind control about to hit level 7 as well. just wanting to constantly defend this tower. He's dropping low, though. These wards are really starting to add up on him. 20 stick charges, though, ready to go if he does get committed onto. All right, only a 1k gold lead off of these last 8 minutes for Team Nigma. Alliance doing pretty damn well. Look at these levels, too. Not so bad. Support's all doing about the same. Weeha's the only one who's falling behind at the moment on that Bat Rider.
This time around, Alliance starting to get a bit of pressure onto the side tier ones. S4 with just the constant lane hold with the ward spam. Down bottom and top lane with Limp finding his new area to sort of stand his ground. Going for the Midas build up on this sort of core carry mid Abaddon.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I mean, their idea of the game really is just take it to the late stages, right? So
yep.
That does make sense if he does want to go for that item build. I think they should try to give a solo lane to the Skywrath now at this point on Team Nigma. They want him to get that 6 pretty early on in this game because he's got 3 heroes that can work so well with him, right?
Oh,
Clockwork, Bat Rider, Beastmaster. If you have a good early level 6 on that Sky, it could be pretty nice, but they're really trying to keep this tower bottom alive as long as possible. So that also makes sense why he's down there. Heavy rotations coming down. Looks like Miracle wants to come to get involved. 5 heroes for Team Nigma.
Here we go.
5 heroes for Team Alliance.
They're ready to fight on this one. The silence is out. RMN tries to get out of the cogs that he places himself, but he cannot do so. He goes down. Lasso's there. If they got the damage to kill off this Morphling, the silence will catch him, but he's out to the side. Nigma, they've got to run. Weeha's out of mana. Limp's on top of him. Will get the 4 hits in as the Bat Rider goes down, tossed forward as Limp headed over towards Mind Control. Mind Control used the raw to get out of the way. The Blade Ward does catch him with that final hit, slowing him down. As Alliance, they'll take the 3 of them there.
Bringing everybody down to the bottom lane. They really want to take out this tower early on here. Venomancer fighting around him this early on is just so damn good. They can't actually chase or do much of anything. That lasso comes out and Weeha just can't move. He's just already slow too much. Nice rotations coming out from Alliance, and they will be able to claim that tower. So the team without the Drow Ranger in the game is going to be the first one to claim a tier 1. That would be a pretty... If I was an Alliance fan, I'd be pretty happy at the moment.
Oh yeah, this is some good tempo from a lineup that on paper could fall behind early, and it hasn't. It's just the power of having these cores outside the Morph, as you say, the S4 Veno and the Limp Abaddon. It doesn't matter that the Morph is... it's sort of more geared toward the later portion of the game. You've got these heroes that allow these fights to be safe for him to turn up. He's going to have setup, he's going to have team fight control from behind him, and he's always going to have those saves to make sure that he can get involved without the risk of feeding.
Yeah, and this is all about being a tempo lineup for Nigma. Is they want to be the ones to set the pace. They want to be the ones to be constantly taking those towers and objectives. But look, Alliance is reacting really well.
Yeah.
Weeha.
Really nice movements here, straight up towards top. They'll look to push Mind Control away from Weeha, separating the 2 of them. Demonic Purge down onto the Bat. Weeha will go down. Mind Control, he's trying to hide, but Limp and Nico, baby, they're hot on the chase. Miracle will be able to kill off S4. Top lane, Mind Control, he'll pop the roar onto Limp, immediately removed by the borrowed time. Alliance just continuing to make some very nice early game rotations.
Yeah, great reactive moves, and just making sure that their towers do not get taken out at all. Look at this Limp. No hesitation, TPs to mid lane, parks himself in front of it. No way that Nigma can push through to go for that tower there. Very good moves for Alliance so far in this game. 7 to 8, matching the aggression constantly. And have not had anybody really get caught out and get brought down there by the combo from that Skywrath. Will be Boots of Travel almost finished up on Weeha, but he's getting spotted again.
Rounds can provide the toss, cannot. It's the creep instead, so setup's not there. Now with the ball on hands, Ken. They pay the price there for that whiffed attempt, unless FNG could do something. He's able to hold back. The Beastmaster still, the boar chases on with the axes out. Handscan goes down, but now Demonic Purge is back up. FNG just turns with the setup onto the Beastmaster.
He gets the strength
Silences out into the Mystic Flavor. You're right, he's already building up the HP. Limp's also there with the backup, so they cannot continue to focus down Nico Baby's Morph. They'll look towards Limp, but borrowed time's up once more. Another shield as he continues to run. Miracle will control him though with the slow of the Frost Arrows. Limp will get left behind and does go down. Miracle making his first move away from the mid lane to get involved in these side lane pushes and fight back into Alliance.
They really want to go for a tower, but look at this. S4 immediately shows up to mid. He's already starting to pressure this one too. Good moves. And now Miracle, he's actually alone up top trying to take out this tower. I guess the boar actually gets the last hit as its dying wish is done.
And do you like this active build-up as well from Miracle going for the very early, so the Shadow Blade and potentially even the... Well, we'll see if it fills out the Silver Edge. I imagine not straight away, just getting that Shadow Blade for sort of ways to duck and dive in and out of the fights and to find that sort of surprise silence on heroes like the Morphling.
I definitely like it this game just because there's also limited ways to catch him. There's like a Shadow Demon Purge, and then Tiny are the big ones to really get onto him. Venno, the Gale, like Venno's not really going to get that close to get a Gale on a Drow Ranger a lot of the times in the game, so yeah, I do like this one. He can play around it to be aggressive or defensive inside of the team fights pretty nicely. Here we go. Okay, so hook shot ready, Skywrath ult ready too. These two can pretty much kill anybody if they find the right opportunity.
Yeah, just
also staying near the way.
Just sort of what the disruption and the borrowed time that could sort of put a stop to it.
They want to find the Morphling. That's why they're going for the ancient area here.
They're going to find him, but that was quick.
He gets the morph off anyway.
Very, very quick reaction there, building up the strength for the backup. On top of that from FNG and his disruption puts a stop to that play.
They saw the ward get put up onto the high ground. They smoked, they put the ward up, and they already had a Sentry and Obs ward play. So as soon as he gets put down, it's actually a bait play by Nico, baby.
Yeah.
That's why he went right to the edge, breaks the smoke, has the time to get that morph off. Mid, looks like they're going to be able to find S4 here, maybe. Lasso back.
Yeah, trying to hold him down to stop him getting the spells off, but won't kill him in time, so he still gets the Nova out onto Weehaw.
They want more.
Silence out onto the Tiny, extra TP coming in on mid from Lim. He's going to be there to keep Hanskin safe. Hanskin getting knocked back down into the river. Still kind of hard for GH and the rest of them to push into Alliance any further as GH now out of mana. 10 to 10, 15 minutes in, less than 1k in it. We had an excellently close opening in game 1. We're getting it again here in game 2.
Yep. He's a pretty big Drow Ranger, level 13. Again, Miracle getting all the space from his team. Midas is finished up for the Abaddon, so it's going to take him some time to really ramp up and be a strong force in this game. Could hurt them a bit, but if they make it to the later stages, it definitely will pay off.
Yeah, and I think definitely the fact that Alliance have got this draft against Nigma that they could have maybe fallen behind at this 15-minute mark. The fact that it stayed even,
yeah,
you get away with that greed on the Abaddon. It's a good move from Lim,
yep,
because they were never behind. They've kept the game close.
Definitely agree. Looking to try to go for a mid here, but...
Quick setup onto the Disruptor.
Oh, I suppose it's pushed up onto the high
Shadow
ground.
Demon takes it out for G. We'll see if they can maybe still find more, though. They get the lasso out onto S4. It's not going to be enough to do anything as S4 immediately saved by Limp with that aphotic shield.
That looked scary for a second, the way he got pushed so far up, but does have the Abaddon to bail him out of that precarious situation. Looks like they have to go back away, though. They have to deal with some lanes now. Top being pushed in quite heavily. Bottom also starting to have a lot of farm for them, so they're going to break away. I think maybe it's time for them to give up this mid tower finally. But nope, they're bringing Shadow Demon in anyway. So going to defend his 3 while the other 2 farm up on the side lanes.
Let's see if Alliance can push them off here. Miracle.
No way.
Siege in this tower. Top lane, Weehaw is poking at Nico, baby, on his own.
What the?
Hello?
That was a bit crazy.
I mean, maybe... yeah. I mean...
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Iron Man walks up. He does have hookshot defensive. He has wand charges too.
Maybe he thought his team was behind him. But they're, just very behind him. They were all the way back on mid.
I don't know. FNG walks up, gets gusted. The roar does come out. Do they have follow-up, though? Miracle is going to throw out his multi-shot there. His forward gets a bit low. Okay, maybe this was the plan.
This was the plan. This was the plan. Die top, come back in with the bots mid.
Well, Araman dies, and now, now Weehaw.
And then maybe feed again. Oh, no.
Not the plan.
Maybe it's the long con, You feed once top, you feed mid.
And look at Hanskin with the Blink Dagger finished up. He also finds Mind Control.
Okay.
All right, big kills for Alliance. Now in the gold lead, and I mean, Weehaw just back-to-back dying in very weird ways.
Yes.
I mean, the top one was...
Don't try this at home, kids.
I mean, the top one is very strange because he just dove under tier 2 by himself. The mid one, understandable death because he's trying to get aggressive with his team. Hanskin, looks like he'll be found out trying to go for a deep dive. But yeah, Weehaw definitely hurting his team quite a bit there in those last few moments. And Alliance capitalizing heavily.
Yeah, and they need Weehaw to be strong, right? Because I guess him and the clock, they're the ones charging in on the front.
And he's dead, he's dead again.
Wait, that was weird.
That was Weehaw.
I didn't even know he was back in the game. Oh. All right. Now Weehaw sort of come in and he said, you know, he sort of last year, he's like, hey, Pi, hold my beer. You know, I got, when it comes to dying, I can one-up you.
He actually just died. He died on respawn, pretty much.
I think he died before he respawned.
Oh, man, that was... All right, well, that happened.
Yeah.
Poor Weehaw is probably feeling pretty bad right now in those last few moments. But...
Yeah, because that's a lot of kills as well that Nico Baby's getting involved in. Nico Baby's having a brilliant time on this morph. These fights, he's been involved in a lot of action very early as a morphling.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to get his E-Blade if he chooses to go for that pretty early on. I know he has the Manta already finished, so he already has a way to play around the silence that was supposed to be a problem for him in a lot of the game. He doesn't even have to worry about the you know, they picked Skywrath because he has that silence built in. They have Drow also because that silence. Now Morphling already has Manta, 19 minutes in. 18 minutes in even.
That's quick.
And he's going for a Scotty next, so more tankability. Yeah, that's real concerning for Nigma for these next few moments. Alliance now going to find another target mind control. Things are starting to fall apart a bit here for Nigma.
Yeah.
Alliance all around the Roche pit too for this.
And they can let's try and poke at this. 35 seconds, no Beastmaster. This one's going to start working away at it. They've got the Illusion Rune as well. I mean, they've got ways to snipe this. Saruman could get in with a good hook shot. And it's not particularly a super quick Roche, so timings are there for Nigma to make a surprise move.
Long wraparound for Miracle looking for the supports. He'll be able to find FNG pretty quick here.
But the save's going to be there with the shield.
And then there's our Hanskin's right there, and Miracle's just dead.
He's going to go down, or is he? He is. Nico Baby turns into the form of the Drow Ranger, uses the multi-shot against him. And they're starting to crumble here, Nigma, big time.
I think the game may have just completely fallen out of control for them.
This morph's getting ahead.
I think they had to be
Very
in a position where they were just way further. They weren't even ahead at all in this game. They had to be ahead in this game with their draft, and it just hasn't happened. Alliance they're in just such a good favor to win this game now. 4K gold lead with an Aegis on a Morphling versus a tempo-based lineup where they just did fine throughout the entire early game. Nigma really falling apart here. Everyone's starting to just die all over.
Yeah, Nico Baby is just in. Got like 21 minutes in. You give this man this sort of a start, and he's just going to ride the wave quite literally here as this morph. 9-1-4. Nico Baby really in the zone. We saw in that first game, as hard as it was, in a game where Miracle's Arc Warden was so far ahead, even in that game, Nico Baby was getting so much done with the momentum he was building up on the Clinks. This time around, he's getting that momentum and he's in the top spot. There isn't that carry that's sort of silently farming elsewhere, staying a few thousands and thousands of gold ahead of him. He's in that lead position now.
He has another full big item here coming out. He shows his face down bottom, but shows his face just to give Nico Baby another kill, I guess.
Let's get messy.
Tried to get a kill, but unable to. Now Weehaw also. Or GH also might be in some trouble. Hanskin, he's got the blink available in a second. And now RMN. He's got haste.
Oh. It's very speedy. And he will live, but definitely they've lost complete control here, Nigma.
Yeah, they drafted themselves a draft that kind of wants to play with very little mistakes, and I feel like they've made so many mistakes with this tempo draft. Like Alliance is in, it's a 6K gold lead, but it's going to start feeling way more in the next few moments. You have to imagine they're just going to start running away with this game. Yeah, absolutely terrifying right now. Starting to take over the triangle of Team Nigma, and overall able to play a lot more aggressively because of how farmed Nico Baby is. Scotty finished on top. He's got a lot of defensive aspects coming up from behind him, from the Shadow Demon, from the Abaddon. And now it's all about just throw everything onto Nico Baby. Like, Limp doesn't even have to go for any type of other scaling stuff anymore. He can just go like his Lotus Orbs and anything to just make sure Nico Baby survives. Lotus Lincolns, whatever his preference is to be.
just aggressively getting onto Nigma's half of the map, setting up for this tier 2 down bottom. Still being able to play with this Aegis, and for as long as that Aegis is in the game, very hard for Nigma really to fight into that Aegis. They've got to sort of let it be and look elsewhere, try and just find farm themselves, get Miracle, at least keep him in a position where he may be able to sort of sit on the high ground and fire back with a multi-shot, but it's not going to be easy. Any time that NicoBaby sees an opportunity to just zip straight in, get on top of the Drow, it's going to be hard for Miracle to hold. So here we have it, Miracle. Shadow Blade will break him away from that advance of NicoBaby.
Quick little Manta, able to get away very easily. Tower getting brought down pretty quickly here, and NicoBaby's actually just going in.
He is. Goes straight away for it.
I mean, he's getting pulled pretty far now.
Oh, this is close to the fountain. In fact, he's touching. Does have that Aegis.
Oh, he pushes Miracle
a
though.
lot of HP. Turns over towards Miracle. Miracle is dead. There's already been one buyback. That's 2 buybacks that Nigma's having to use. And they still weren't able to kill NicoBaby the once. He's still got that second life. Turning back over towards Iron Man. Miracle, he's brought back for this. The silence will catch them off. But Miracle, he's falling low. Hansket and the Morph beating into him. It's a dieback from Miracle's Drow. As NicoBaby just playing right towards the fountain. Goes in onto GH. Loses his first life, but he doesn't care. Aegis was probably going to expire anyway pretty soon. It's 2 diebacks for Nigma. NicoBaby just destroying them in front of the fountain. Triple kill for him. I mean, they've still got tier 2s in 2 lanes, so they're probably going to play on. But this game has just, it's crumbled.
They're going to end it.
It's crumbled.
I think they can just go for the tier 4s here. There's 45 seconds, no Drow. No way that Nigma can try to have any time here to come back. And that's it. You'd imagine it would be the other way around at 25 minutes with a Drow Beastmaster lineup, but...
You would, yeah, you said, hey, this game finished in 25 minutes. Here are the 2 Drows who did it.
Yeah.
You're not pointing at the Morph lineup, but the way Alliance played it, and of course, as we said, sort of the mismoves